Video coverage of IT Expo is brought to you by Content Boost, the content marketing specialists. Amplify your sales today.
Hi, Eric Linask here at IT Expo in Miami. On the program with me today is Kathleen Reed from Sangoma. Kathleen, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me a little bit about what Sangoma's been up to, like what you're doing today, especially in relation to your history of providing some really high quality cards.
Right. So Sangoma does have a history of providing exceptional quality in our cards, of course, and we're still dedicated to that market and dedicated to growing that market and what have you. But we also have a new line of session border controllers and products for Microsoft Link, and basically system level products. So we're taking that expertise and the quality of engineering that we had in our cards and bringing it to the system level products. So we're quite excited about these developments.
So I want to jump right back to one of the elements that you mentioned. A lot of talk, a lot of conversation, and certainly deployment around Microsoft Link. What's special about what you're doing with Link, and really how does it help your customers?
Okay, well, Microsoft in their ecosystem, they tend to focus on the larger businesses like enterprises and this type of thing. Sangoma has always at its root been servicing the small to medium enterprise, and Microsoft Link makes it really easy for those enterprises to deploy Link, because it can be a little bit intimidating when you're an IT guy working, trying to install these sorts of things. So it cuts deployment times in half basically when you use this box. And Microsoft Link can be a little bit complicated, but in terms of Sangoma's NetBorder Link Express, it's one appliance, and it includes an SBC and a gateway and pretty much everything you need except for the additional Microsoft Link licensing to get up and running really quickly, really easily. So perfect for the SMB.
So we're, as a market, as a community, we're still on that path, that migration path from TDM to VoIP. Obviously, SIP trunking is playing a huge role in that. What is Sangoma doing? What are you doing in order to help ease that migration? Okay,
yeah, that's a really great question. So, for the past 10 to 15 years, I guess people have been migrating to VoIP, but it's been taking a while. And in that transition, you've been getting like islands of SIP and different things like that to making interconnectivity a little bit more challenging. So Sangoma has a line of session border controllers which really translate that different type of SIP, and it allows also with the session border controllers, it's really important on your enterprise network, especially because it is basically a firewall for voice, and it protects against different security threats on your enterprise network. So Sangoma's helping with that, because people don't really think when you're moving from, at least at the enterprise level, if you're coming from traditional copper, you don't really think about, oh well, my voice network may not be as secure because it used to be more dedicated, and now with Sangoma session border controllers we have that level of security, and it's perfectly sized and easy to manage for the enterprise network.
So you've mentioned your SBCs on a couple of occasions, and if I recall, we saw them for the first time here at IT Expo last year. Lots of new players, lots of demand and energy around session border controllers. What's creating that energy and that demand? Okay, well, another really good question there. What's creating that demand is, I believe, is all these islands of SIP, as I mentioned previously, and you need the transcoding and you need the security, because people are bringing their own devices to the enterprise network. People are there's all of these instances of a denial of service attacks when people are trying to just crack into that network, and people just don't realize when you have that voice network that your firewall just isn't doing it on its own. And I think as people start to realize that they need some way of protecting this, we don't want to have an open door for people to come in to the network. So this putting the session border control in the DMZ really allows for that to be protected. Now, there are probably some people out there, probably many people, who may not know that Sangoma has traditionally played in both the proprietary and the open source environments. What's your take on open source technology currently, and is that something you're going to continue to support? Oh, of course. Sangoma, its roots are in open source, and it's very near and dear to our hearts. And as a company, we've been growing, and it comes with challenges when you're having a rapidly growing company like that. So Sangoma is very dedicated to growing that market and to helping out those folks.
and as well leveraging that experience in the proprietary space to grow system-level products and really, bring value, using that experience in open source to bring value to the other enterprises and to the carriers.
Excellent. Kathleen, thanks so much for being on the program with me.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Video coverage of IT Expo is brought to you by Content Boost, the content marketing specialists. Amplify your sales today.